Alrighty, yo, what's up? My name's Petrality3 and welcome to a pickups video. This is every little bit of magic cards that I picked up in April and in May, okay? This is 2 months of pickups and there's a lot here, obviously. This is my birthday month, okay? I usually don't go this crazy, I usually don't go this hog wild, but I think I spent like $500 on magic cards. Probably a little bit less than that, to be fair. Over the past 2 months, though, you know, I budget out well. I always say I'm a pretty frugal person, you know, I don't make the most amount of money in the world by any means. Probably make around average. I do okay, you know. I live with my wife. We split rent. We do okay, and I like to buy magic cards. So that's really what it is. Whenever I spend money on myself, the little bit that I do, I spend it on magic cards. That's why you sometimes see a fair bit. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. What did I get today? First things first. Do you even know what a pickups video is? You know, pickups videos are, I think, something very much of the past. It's something that I grew up watching, and I always loved that. It was cool to see what people were collecting. You get ideas of cards and see, you know, what do people care about, what are people interested in, yada yada yada. There's a whole lot of things to consider, and I'm realizing I actually grabbed the wrong box. This is my bulk rares box. We could go through that sometime if you're interested, but that's not even my pickups box. Let me grab the right one really quick. Now that is the pickups box because it is much cooler, and there's a, you know, much older initial Lorwyn box. Very beautiful. Let's jump around with like the surrounding stuff. First things first, the easiest thing to show off. Let's just move this over to the side just for 1 second. We'll bring it back. This is a sealed Fate Reforged box I went ahead and picked up. It is in Chinese. They're usually just cheaper, and I like foreign cards, so it's kind of a win-win. It's honestly awesome to be collecting foreign Magic cards in 2025 because the average like new player base doesn't like them. It's kind of awesome if you're a foil foreign collector. It's kind of a good time to be alive because a lot of the new players, they want the like crazy variants and flashy stuff, which there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong way to collect, but it's not a bad time. So this was like, I think it was 85 bucks, 85, 90 bucks, like cheaper than a traditional booster box. Obviously Fate Reforged, not like that banger of a set in terms of hits. Does have fetches in it though. It has fetches. That's the big thing. It does have fetch lands, like little cons fetch lands are inserted into the set. I wonder how many people don't know that. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure if you know the set you do. Otherwise, I got 3 booster boxes in April. Okay, I splurged out a little bit for myself. I'm not gonna lie. I'm keeping the Fate Reforged box sealed for months, maybe years. I don't know. I'm not gonna like open it if I don't have like the crazy urge to, and I'd rather just sit on it. So one of the boxes, one of the 3 booster boxes I got was just to sit on. I got the Theros box for I think 95, maybe like 100 or so post shipping and stuff. I did open the Theros box live here on the channel. If you're interested in that, there is a video on the channel. These are tokens, and then everything here is unplayables. I do separate all my cards. I have the big white Beckett? No, what's the brand? There's some like brand infamous. The big white tubs. These are all unplayable commons and uncommons is how I categorize them. It's a lot of this is all the junk. We do have all the playables organized in our pickups box. So we'll get to that. I want to show you guys. This is all the like kind of junk from the Theros stuff. I consider this all unplayables, but it's a beautiful box. I do love the Theros box. And then the Battle for Zendikar stuff, I've been opening these 1 pack at a time. You'll end up seeing a video on this channel eventually where I just open basically 1 pack a day and sort of see if we get an expedition. This set is all about the expeditions. BFZ is my favorite set of all time. Really nostalgic to me. I had some really good luck pulling expeditions on that set, and did a lot of I think I did like 3 to 4 pre-releases on one weekend when that set came out, and it was so much fun. It was a really fun set. So also big vintage pickup. I'm not done with vintage. I'm not even close to being done. Vintage is probably my #1 priority right now. I do like picking up small little fun stuff here and there because vintage stuff is just expensive. But this was 90 bucks for Japanese Tolarian Academy. Very, very happy with it. If you don't know, it's a land that taps for a blue mana for how many artifacts you control, and with vintage being an artifact heavy format, it's a no-brainer. It's a very, very good card. Will be played in my shops deck. So we're working on vintage. We're working on vintage. That is a new piece for vintage. Super happy to get that at 90 bucks. Not too shabby. Next up, the main focus of the video is going to be the pickups box. Now, some of this is pretty organized, some of it's not. Some of this is stuff we've already seen in the Theros video, so if you've already seen that, I'll go through the Theros stuff kind of quickly. But some of this is also, I got a, what's it called? The newer set. I don't open a whole lot of newer stuff, but the Dragonstorm of Tarkir. It was my birthday, and the 3 booster boxes were still in the mail. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? The one thing I want to do on my birthday is open Magic cards, and I don't want to open the last Magic Origins box that I have in my closet. So I want to keep that sealed. I was like, you know what? Let's just go to Walmart really quick. We tried to go to a local store, but it was actually closed. They were like closed on Tuesday, which is funny. But we ended up just going to Walmart and picking up a Dragonstorm fat pack for like 50 bucks. It's not great, but it was my birthday and I wanted to open Magic cards. Okay, sue me. So we'll get to what was in that here in a quick sec. But here's like I think Polymorph's Jest or Polymorph. It's something similar to that. Polymorph Jest might be the fraud card, but there's like this mass Polymorph type spell. This was in the Theros box. Got one in foil, one normal. I did get a Nykthos from the Theros box, thankfully. Spoiler alert for that opening. And a Thoughtseize. I'm really happy. I'm excited to put these in my Legacy binder, in my Eternal binder. I'll sort these afterwards. I also just have a strong attachment to Xenagos because I had a friend that played him a lot growing up. I also just love the Strylands. I love playing Strylands in Commander. Commander is a format to me, so I love opening my own Strylands. It's a lot of fun, you know. I don't mind that at all. I love having foreign Strylands. Really simple cards in foreign. This is not a great card to have in foreign. It's like Psychic Intrusion. I remember this card because I had a bunch of it. It was a bulk rare in Theros, but I love getting like random lands like that in foreign because they're beautiful. And I'll play them in Commander. I love playing budget mediocre lands. I even forgot about I haven't gone through this in a while. So Ember, I always remember this card, Ember Swallower. You can like monstrous 3 and you like destroy some amount of lands. It's a weird card, but I always remember the bulk rares because it's funny how much you remember bulk rares from sets. If you played those sets when you were a teenager, didn't have much money, you remember the bulk rares. Probably more than the mythics because that was the cards you actually played with, right? Those were the cards you actually like had in your binder were the bulk rares, the shitty cards. We did get a Thassa, which I forgot about, so that's really cool to see. Any of the Foreign Gods, Gift of Immortality, actually a really cool card. This card's interesting. The Temple of Silence. I always love the art. I don't know why Temple of Silence always like that one stuck out to me in terms of that. Fire Drinker, Satyr, how could you forget? Hero's Downfall, Biden of Thassa, Planeswalker, what is that? Abhorrent Overlord, Ashen Rider. I love this. That's a actually Legacy sideboardable card. More Strylands. I'm gonna, we'll get through these a little bit quicker because also just how could you not? I love opening foreign packs because I just love just little simple foreign lands, especially foreign foil lands. Why not? They just add an extra little flair to decks. Not every deck. Okay, and here we get to, so that's Theros stuff. I already, sneak peek. Here we get to, I think, the 2 singles. This is a really rare month for me. I usually only buy singles in Magic. I really don't open many packs, even though these 2 months is like all pack openings. It was my birthday, right? I really don't open many packs. I really don't. I usually just buy singles. These are the 2 singles that I bought recently because I just couldn't believe the prices. Bribery is really a fun card. I love Judge promos. This is a Judge promo. It's a Bribery Judge promo. I got it for like 12 bucks. It was at like the lowest it's been at for a very, very long time. If you don't know, Bribery, really fun Commander card. Can be broken, but like not really. It's really just a fun. You're never going to see this in like CDH, I don't think. It's really just a fun Commander card. It says, it's 3 and 2 blue, sorcery, search target opponent's library for a creature card and put that creature card onto the battlefield under your control. You're probably grabbing this card a lot of times with this, honestly. So there is the Theros stuff, the singles I bought, and then Craterhoof Behemoth. This is my favorite printing of Craterhoof. And I never really loved the original art, I'm going to be so honest, of Craterhoof. It's cool how massive he is and how he's like hovering over all the trees. That is the coolest part of the art. But the beast itself never really spoke to me. This thing is so foily, it's like hard to show on camera, which is the further away view might actually be better. This card is fucking gorgeous. It's a Craterhoof Behemoth, obviously. It's Japanese. I couldn't believe it. This was 22 bucks. And they're actually cheaper now. So you can actually get this for cheaper than I got it for. These are from, there's like a showcase foil Japanese. In English, these are like 35 bucks. But in Japanese, they're so fucking cheap. If you want these, pick them. If you want, to natural order in Legacy, if you want to play it in Commander, like same thing in Commander, I guess. Pick up your Craterhoofs now, man. They were just reprinted, I think, twice. I think they were reprinted in Foundations, and then immediately after in Dragonstorms of Tarkir. Pick up your Craterhoofs now, whatever version you want, right? They're probably all cheaper. This one, I think you can get this for like 15 bucks right now. I was just checking on TCG Player before this video. You can get this now for 15. I got it for 22, and I was like, wow, what a steal. Maybe like 19, like 22 after shipping and stuff, but I was like, wow, what an insane steal. Now we're moving on to the Dragonstorm of Tarkir box. And I didn't sort this super well, but there are some cards in here that I really want to talk about. I'm really excited I picked up. I'm not really familiar with this card. If anybody has any attachment to Ureni, the Song Unending, let me know. If you love this dragon, talk about it, because I don't really know much about this guy. I do think this card is kind of slipping under the radar. It's not amazing. Obviously, it's like worse than, I think it's worse than Court of Calling, worse than Green Sun Zenith, but I don't know. For Commander, it's a really good budget option. Nature's Rhythm, X and 2 green. Search your library for a creature card. It doesn't have to be green either. A creature card with mana value X or less and put it onto the battlefield. So it's 2 green extra. This is like a really sick card. I've loved playing this in Draft. Playing this card in Limited has been so fun in Dragons of Tarkir Storm. You get a nice bomb and you can like I've searched for Skirmish Rhino so many times with this, and then you can harmonize it later on, so you can cast it again. This is like actually a good, really good budget. This is probably like $1 foil, maybe less. It's really, really cheap, I'm pretty sure. I'm really happy to pick that up. It's honestly a really fun budget commander card, and I think it's, you know, obviously to each their own. I play Legacy and I'm trying to build Vintage like an idiot in 2025. I'm not trying to pimp out my commander decks for the most part. For the most part, my commander decks are like budget, right? Like I like building somewhat of a budget on them. If I have the cards, I'll plop them in. I'll plop in Eternal playables that I already own, you know, that I've collected in there. But yeah. This card, for example, will be going in really good addition to Maelstrom Wanderer. Temur Battlecrier. During your turn, spells you cast cost 1 less generic mana for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. This is going to be a really nice 3 mana. It ramps. You want like these creatures that ramp you in Maelstrom Wanderer is always super nice. And that will definitely go into that. I'm gonna do a lot of sorting. A lot of these cards are gonna be put into decks after and this was just opened randomly. I think this is actually like the bundle promo. You just like get this, I think, if you buy the fat pack or whatever. So it's a pretty cheap card, but it's a very good card. Warden of the Grove. At the beginning of your end step, put a plus counter on this thing, and it like doubles counters. Whenever another non-token creature enters, it endures X. I played this in Limited. Really beautiful card. Really cool art. Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. Sure. I'm gonna go through like the ones I'm interested in. This card seems terrible. Can somebody teach me why this card was printed? 1 mana 1/1. I guess it's a 1/1 with Mobilize 1. So like, maybe I'm shitting on it a bit too much. It's a Goblin Warrior. 1 mana. Maybe I'm being a little. To be fair, if this card was printed like this is a power creep dot card and it's still dog shit, which maybe that's why it's so funny to me. 1 mana 1/1 Goblin with Mobilize 1. So whenever it attacks, it creates a 1/1 Warrior token though. And you can pay 2, sacrifice this creature. It deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature. If it hit face, maybe that'd be more interesting. But that card's terrible. Whatever. All Out Assault. This card's kind of funny. I like the way they're like doing new extra combat effects. This is an enchantment that gives your creatures +1/+1 and death touch, and it when it enters, it like gives you another attack step, which is like another combat, which is cool. Songcrafter Mage, really tight requirements on the Temur, but it's kind of like a budget Snapcaster Mage. I'm curious to see what it does. Anything else super interesting here? I'm excited to see a New Way Forward. It's a really budget, really cheap card. I'm curious to see if it'll be kind of like that, like a deflecting SWAT type meme in Commander, but it's very expensive. I got a foil, amazing card in Limited, not really good out. If you play like a budget control deck in Commander, maybe it's honestly fine. It's 4 and it's honestly actually I'm probably underrating it. It's 4 and 2 blue, instant, draw 3 cards. My camera hates picking up magic cards. Draw 3 cards. Creatures your opponent control get -3. There we go. -3, -0 until turn. So it's kind of like but it's 6 mana. Why would I not just play like Aether Spouts over this? I love Aether Spouts, to be fair. It's an amazing card. Obviously, this draws cards. The draw is super nice. And here is, hilariously, out of all the rares, out of all the expensive cards, you know, in Dragonstorm, whatever, my favorite card in Dragonstorm by far, and my favorite card that I pulled, and I'm so glad I got a foil of this. I was telling my wife, hilariously, the number 1 card I'm looking for in this fat pack is just Rakshas's Bargains. I want a playset of these for Legacy. I don't have Beanstalk control built, but I love I'm not a huge control player, hilariously. I was interested in Miracles, and I played certain versions of Miracles way back in the day, and I enjoyed playing them, and I enjoyed learning Miracles, but I always understood it wasn't the deck for me. It was honestly too much. It's not my cup of tea. But up the Beanstalk control might be one of the control decks that really speaks out to me in Legacy. So maybe one day I'll build it. Probably not, but I'd like to have the cards, honestly. Dragonstorm Globe. The foil of this is honestly kind of nice. Cute little commander mana rock that also buffs your dragons. Really pretty foil here. A Royal Procession. Not a terrible card. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. This is like one of those cards like, yes, you could just play, what's the Phyrexian mana 1. I should know that. I can't think off the top of my head. They could have mutagenic growth, but that's not. That's the other. That's the +2/+2 Phyrexian mana 1. But this is a card. When you own a foil of it, yeah, I'll plop it in a commander deck. You know, is it the best version of that card? No, there's regrowth and tons of other things, right? Eternal Witness, yada. You know, if you want creatures, yada yada yada. But I am that boomer Magic player. There is still so much joy to me in building decks out of the cards you own. I think there's something so fulfilling about going through your collection, using what you can, I like net decking to some extent and like using that as a base, but then like variating a ton. But I don't like the net deck, add everything to the cart, buy it, and then build. To me, that's just not satisfying. Obviously, if you enjoy playing Magic, which is the main part of the game, that's probably a good thing. You know, more power to you. Go for it. I love deck building. I think I love deck building even more than playing Magic, which is kind of weird. But I think there's a fair amount of people out there like that, to be honest. So if that's you, you know, you found the right channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've honestly been really happy to see how people have been so positive. I'm not going to go through all of these. There's a lot of these. This is a great limited card, Lie in Wait. It's a removal spell and a recursion spell for a creature. I'm not going to go through all of these. Also, a really fun limited card. Draft is amazing. This set in Draft is honestly quite fun. It reminds me a fair bit of Cons. There's definitely a bunch of, it's a rampy format where you're just like ramping up and like getting a bunch of big beaters and going crazy. A lot of what's left here might just be bulk. I did not sort this well. There's some foil of the worst full art lands. I think you get those guaranteed. I'm not going to go through all of this, don't worry, but I do need to sort this, I think, at some point. But what I was trying to say was, yeah, I just enjoy deck building, I think, more than... I haven't sorted through what's playables and what's non-playables, honestly. Here, I'll have to do that at some point, but I haven't, what's it called? Oh, I do have playables. Oh, yeah. I showed you guys all the common and uncommon Theros unplayables. Let's go to Theros, what I consider playable or cards that I care about. You might have, like, what I consider playable, I'm not gonna lie, is very loose. Like this card, probably not really playable. It's probably only playable in some super niche thing. This is a 4 mana, like you gain life equal to your green devotion upon ETB. 4 mana, 3/3. These are like playable cards in the sense that if I wanted to build someone, some of the cards I put in playable are really good. Things like Ponders, things like Brainstorms, right? But then sometimes, I love all these like little simple foreign lands. Sometimes playables can be things like, there's actually a good example here. Nessian Asp, okay? Why is this card unplayable? Nessian Asp is terrible. It's a 5 mana 4/5 with Reach, a snake, where you can monstrous it for 4. The reason I put Nessian Asp in my playables is because I have nostalgia for it. It's one of my favorite first cards that I ever played with in Magic, and I played it like casual around the table with friends at like in high school, right? So I put it in playables just because I love the card. My definition of playables is very different from others, very different from a card store's. If I was operating as a card store, it would be a very different thing, you know? This is I'm actually gonna grab all the ass. I love this card, dude. I love the art. The art is just really nice, and it's a cool card. It's a really, really good casual card. There's so many. Commune with the Gods, like decently playable. Like some of these are going to be like playable, like the Satyr that untaps a land. That's playable, you know. Some of these are playable, quote unquote. Some are budget versions of a better card. I'll count that as playable. I'll take it all day. So my definition of, these are the Dragonstorm, more Dragonstorm common uncommons. My definition of playable is very, very different for sure. God's Willing, like, used to be a very playable card, to be fair. Like, actually was sideboard in Modern, if I remember correctly. The Hoplites or Oplites or whatever. Some of these are quote-unquote playable for sure. Yoked Ox, like, is that playable? Maybe in, like, a Doran commander deck, you know? Like, things like that. My term is looser for sure. Fanatic of Mogus, obviously, that is a legit, like, playable. I kind of want to pull that out. I love me some Fanatic of... People who run Fanatic of Mogus and Legacy in your red decks, what's it like, Prison, you know, that's the way to run Prison. If you're gonna do like Mono Red Devotion, Aqueous Form, very playable card, you know. There are some actually playable cards in here that are pretty good, but obviously this is a lot of quote unquote playables. I'm a little loose on the term, and it makes me happier to sort like that. The Big Octopus, you know, Dissolve. I like Dissolve as a decent counterspell option. How far is it down the list in your list of like commander counterspells? Probably pretty darn low. But I have nostalgia for it. I like the art. It scries. It's fine. You know, like a bunch of Aqueous Forms. My definition of playables, Much looser. This is legit playable. Well, it used to be. Destructive Revelry. Destroy target artifact or enchantment and do 2 damage to its owner. This was a legit burn/zoo sideboard card in Modern for a long time. Burnished Heart. Good example of a commander card that has been power crept. To be fair, this card was never really... Like, this used to be one of the better options, it felt like, for ramp in like shitty colors. If you were in Grixis, I used to run this in T-Lord. If you were in Grixis and you needed to ramp, you'd run Burnished Heart. It'd be like 3 mana. It's 6 mana in total. Plus you sack a creature to ramp 2 basic lands, right? But it was relevant. This is like a $1 uncommon or so. Prowler's Helm, because it basically makes creatures unblockable. 2 to play, 2 to equip. Kind of a forgotten card. It makes it so creatures can only be blocked by walls. So it's something to keep an eye out for. We got our Garys in here, you know, like there's some legit playables in here. We got 3 Garys, but then like Read the Bones is like kind of like a budget option nowadays. That Bloomborough card, the Surveil one, is kind of just a better version of Read the Bones. Kind of got power crept recently, hilariously, and that's really it. That's it. That's my pickups. That's my birthday pickups for the month of April and May. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you saw a card here that brought you some joy, brought you some nostalgia, you know, maybe put a smile on your face. I have a lot of card sorting to do now after this. If there's any kind of content you guys want to see, you want to hear me yap about something, talk about something, Magic the Gathering stories, what cards, you know, I should tell me the cards you picked up recently. Tell me what cards you think I should be picking up while they're cheap. I like hearing opinions on stuff like that and seeing all the different ideas out there of what people are interested in. I'm pretty happy with this. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Hopefully it was a positive asset to your day. I'm gonna go plop this bad boy in my vintage deck ASAP. Like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike if not, subscribe to the channel for weekly Magic the Gathering videos. I'd like to up the amount on that, but you know what, this is a channel for fun, a channel for passion and enjoyment for me, so I got to be careful with that. I don't want to take it too far, make it too much of a job, but anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Enjoy Magic the Gathering. I'll see you guys. Have a good one. Peace, Reno.